All right, here we go. Welcome back. This is It Gets Deep, the podcast. I got my friends with me. We got Mel.
What up?
We got Darnell.
What's going on?
And we're going to be talking about black people in the state of America. Are we still relevant? How do we close the wealth gap? And how do we succeed in life? This is a topic brought to you by Darnell. He has a specific article that we'll be reviewing and talk about and discussing. So hope you guys enjoy. How y'all fellas feeling today?
I'm tired as fuck, hungry a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
been
yeah,
a
me
long ass
too.
day for me, man. So,
Yeah, I'm a little hungry too. My wife supposed to be going to get some Chinese food. I just woke up from a nap, but I'm still a little tired too. So, in today's news, we gonna talk about something that's a little bit trending in topics. Did y'all see the Adam Silver, John Morant?
oh, he handed out a suspension.
Oh yeah, y'all ain't see it?
Nah, I
I'll
didn't
say
see
it's
it.
50 games. I'm guessing it's 50.
The whole season,
The whole season.
bro. I pull it up right now. John Morant.
Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I ain't see that.
I didn't see that. It ain't on ESPN. It must be on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram, like say cheese or something like that.
Man, I was saying I got unless it came from what's his name, Adrian
Yeah.
Wojnarowski. I don't believe
Oh
it.
no, okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Let me be quiet before I get defamation on me. 'Cause ain't no credible source that said it. I'm speaking way too soon. Even SB Nation talking about this suspension coming soon.
I don't
But
think
that
it's
was
going to be
on
the
June
whole season
2nd.
though, because he said that if he gives him too much free time,
Yeah,
he might do something. Like this
Bruh.
thing gonna be unemployed. He ain't got nothing but time.
they gonna be in jail.
What they gonna do? They
Yeah,
can't put
motherfucker gonna be in jail.
him. They gonna restrict him to the stadium. Ain't nothing they can do about it, man.
Yeah, I mean they can't.
The
They
best they
can't
can do
restrict.
is fire him. It's not like the military where they can hold you on a boat,
Nah, they might
take
as
That's
your
well.
crazy.
take half months pay and reduce your rank. Like they can't do all that with the. What else can you do?
I mean, yeah, you can fine him,
Yeah, that's
but
it.
but you make so much money that fine ain't gonna
Yeah,
mean nothing to you.
dude's already a millionaire.
That's crazy. And
I
that's the
mean,
thing. It's funny. We served in a place where there's non-judicial punishment. So basically, whatever the captain thought went. That's crazy. Like
Yeah,
no trial, no judged by your peers or nothing. You know, shit, it's just like straight up like, hey, we're just gonna put you in restriction. It's
I
like,
mean
bro,
you
I
can
ain't
get
even
judged by
state
your
my case.
peers. You
you
can
can.
get judged by your peers, but most of us elect not to. You don't want to go to court
I didn't,
martial.
I didn't know there was an option. Shit,
It is an option.
I didn't know this. I was just like, yo,
Bro,
what
they
y'all
are
gonna
not
do?
about to take you to court martial over you being late
You
to work.
bro, you can take yourself to court martial. You can request a court martial versus a NJP. But it's
Bro,
like it's like taking a plea deal. Why the fuck would I not take a plea deal? If
Shit,
I
I
know
take
I
what
did
it.
it. If
what
I
worse
know
is
I
going to
did
happen?
it.
What worse is what's going to happen? If he goes to court martial, are they really going to kick you out? Let's say if you went to
I
captain's mass
mean, do
because
you want to risk it?
you got shitty
Do you want to
streets.
risk it?
It depends on when you in too, cause like,
I mean, fuck it. I mean, the fucking the captain or whoever's presiding maybe like, this ain't really. And there's half a month's pay. I mean, he's only E4. Just got like that.
Yeah.
That may be a little harsh. He might throw it
you
out.
have a month
So
pay
yeah,
some bullshit.
Man,
it might work out.
I was talking about my second XOY with my wife, and I was like, how is this XO gonna review me? Y'all remember in Guam, that XO was wild.
The
He
which
was
one?
like, yeah, you a big
False.
disappointment. I was like, bro, if you don't,
Oh,
send the
you don't
navigator here.
know
Let
me.
him do my XOY.
That's the
Don't
one
you
that
do?
got hit in the face, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was fighting enlisted, he was fighting officers. Then he gonna look me square in my face, telling me like, you know you done
Apparently he
messed up.
fought the Bonnie too.
Yeah, he was fighting everybody.
Fucking triple XO, man. He ain't trying to, I wish that motherfucker would.
The triple X.
Triple XO.
Oh my god. All right. Let me pull this article open, man. I'm over here stalling. Oh man.
I mean, I wish OJ would say some shit about this damn podcast. I wish he would say
All
some
right.
shit, bro.
Let me.
Fuck.
I was over stalling. I should have been editing this. Let's see. Gonna put Mill right there. Move you right there. Move me a little bit farther down. There we go. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen before I show up something black on there. Wait, share. All right, yeah, that look good. That look real good. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So here's the article. This article is coming from RAND.org, and it is titled, "What Would It Take to Close America's Black-White Wealth Gap?" So this is in concern to economics. You know, in recent news, we saw that black people was on the bottom of the totem pole as far as household incomes. Uh, I think following them was like Hispanics, and then Asian people and white people on top of that. So Darnell, you can take over from here as far as leading the article. You got you speak a little bit better than I do when it comes to reading, and you can also stop me where you want us to stop.
Okay, like right there, like boom,
Okay,
right
go
there,
ahead.
right there, right there. Like the $24,000 in savings, investments, home equity, and that's the thing. That's like not just what you're making. That's literally like your entire net worth is what we're talking about. We're talking about 24,000 compared to 189,000. Like that is, I mean, that's stark. That's fucking. That's eight. That's almost 8 times more than what each of us are worth. It's like you take a white person and a black person. The white person with 8 times as much. You know, and I mean, granted, white. When it comes to stuff like this, a lot of white people are asking us to do something it took them 400 years to do. To ask us to do it in 40. Like you look at my mother and my father, right? My mother still has Negro on her birth certificate. Like,
Really,
yeah,
really.
yeah, no, yeah. Like this shit's not that long ago. The whole. That's the thing. My mother is older than the woman who desegregated schools in the South. She's older than Ruby Bridges by a few months.
God
That
damn.
very well could have been my own mother doing that. Having to be escorted by U.S. Marshals in the schools. So this whole notion of slavery was so long ago. It's like, look, it's not just slavery. It's not just slavery. It's slavery, and then that's the thing. When we started getting back on our feet, white people came and burned it down. Kicked us
Right.
back. Many, 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 many times. Like we couldn't have shit. Like literally, we couldn't have shit. You can't do we couldn't have anything good. And then the thing is, yeah, that might have been after Reconstruction, but I mean that still sets the precedence for our socioeconomic standing today. We kept trying to build and keep starting back from zero, building back from zero, and then in the 1920s, excuse me, not the 20s, but the 30s. Fast forward to the 30s, 1930s, you had the Great Depression, and the thing is, a lot of people were living off government subsidies, but people that weren't getting those government subsidies, they were black. Like 85% of black households weren't getting any type of help. So it's only the white middle class that was getting help. Then you go to the 40s. We contributed to the war. World War II. After that, that's I guess after World War II. Well, I guess it took the United States kind of having the mirror put to itself and having seen what happened into the Jewish communities that were in Germany. A lot of the same things were happening to the black communities in the United States of America. So you kind of had to look at it, I guess not say how to look yourself in the mirror and like, hey, we need to change. And I mean, it's changing started slowly but surely. But again, like I said, you're asking us to do something in 40, 50 years that white people had, for, better part of 400 years. because they came here, they brought us over, with them, and they had free reign over land, and we were free to treat as property. So you had 400 years of that. Over 100 years of just oppression and discrimination. Finally free, and a lot of people looking at us like, "Hey, why aren't you doing so well? What's wrong with black people? I get black people do this, that, and the other." Granted, a lot of it is self-inflicted. When you look at the black on black crime, yeah, we are killing each other. It's us. We gotta. At some point,
that's every. Like black on black crimes. That's like most crimes happen within the people that you're surrounded by.
Right.
Like that's
but I'm not talking about them. I'm not like I don't care about I ain't gonna say I don't care about them, but they're neither here nor there. I'm talking about what we're doing to us. I don't give a fuck what they're doing. Yeah, they might be killing themselves. I'm saying they could be killing themselves too, but I'm talking about what we're doing to each other. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean we have to.
But that's a natural thing, though. I don't think that. That's just a natural thing in any society, though.
I'm not saying that it's not, but what I'm saying is, if we're talking about, hey, what can we do to narrow the gap between the wage disparity and whatnot? Not being incarcerated helps. And one way to be incarcerated, we go murder people. And yeah, we're murdering, and that's the thing. When we're doing it, we're murdering one of ourselves, so we're taking somebody off the census. And then we're also putting somebody in prison. So that's two people that can't work.
Okay.
So, I understand what you're saying, Melvin, but I'm not comparing.
I'm not trying to compare it. I just I don't see it as a if everybody goes through that, then how they're going through that and still progress. I don't think that's a reason, because that's something that they say. You guys are killing each other. Well, y'all killing each other too. That's not why.
Okay. But let's look at the rates, though.
I think it's because what's highlighted is what's highlighted in our culture. That's not something that's highlighted in other cultures.
When
you think of white people, you think of drugs, rock and roll, and things like that, right? Stereotypical stuff. When you think of Arabs, you think of oil, Abu Dhabi and things like that. And then you also may think of the whole left hand thing, that you don't shake somebody with their left hand. And that kind of originates from over there. When it comes to black people, we used to be known as, inventors, smartest of our class, and we kind of got passed off to the next man that was the owner. Now we are known for our hip hop influence. Everybody's influenced by our hip hop music, killing, things of that nature. So that's kind of where the black on black crime is what he's talking about. Now I understand what you're talking about, Melvin. Everybody in proximity of each other is killing each other. It's speaking on reality terms. People are just gonna do it. It's gonna happen. There's no way to avoid that unless you change the culture of it.
That's the thing. I understand that it's going to happen within communities, right? Because we're still very racially and ethnically stratified here. I get that. I understand that, Melvin. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about improving our situation, that's something that got to stop. Now, some people will say we're doing it because of our, I guess our material condition. It's the socioeconomic state that we're in. Which, yeah, if you're broke, you're more likely going to start committing crimes. I understand that, but there needs to be. At some point, you got to take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah, I think I'm not saying that it's right or that's something that should be happening. Yeah, killing people, that's not going to help you do anything, even in any situations, and or selling drugs or anything that's illegal. Yeah, it may seem like the easier route. It's not. It just seems like the easier route, but looking at it, it always fails. You come up and then you come down one way or another. So yeah, I agree that we have to figure something else out. But the point I was making in saying that is just they can do all of that and still they have people that rise to the top. It's like I feel like as black people, it's kind of like you kind of you have a ceiling. It's like a glass ceiling. So we can only come up as much as
They're gonna let us.
we're allowed to come up. And that's what I feel like. If that doesn't change, I don't. It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard. They can, what I'm saying.
Well, have you heard of a concept called the brain drain?
No.
No, go ahead.
So that's typically something that's applied to, I guess, more applied to immigration, right? So let's say you look at the people that immigrated. Let's say the people that immigrated to the United States willingly, right? Black people, like Africans that come to the United States willingly, right? So they're first or second generation Americans, or fresh off the boat. Like those people are very successful in comparison to the descendants of slaves. Now, one thing about immigrants is that you have to be motivated to be an immigrant because it takes a hell of a lot of work to get from there to find a port, to be able to get a visa, be able to stay out of trouble, not get killed, come over here, then learn language, learn the culture, find a job, find a place to live, then be able to have kids and be able to raise them to be able to become educated. And I'm not talking about simply just, high school diploma. These motherfuckers are getting doctorates. So with immigration, you tend to take the best of what another place has to offer. Because, being an immigrant is not, it's like by no means lazy. And I think that's a stereotype of a lot of immigrants is that they're going to come here and just be on welfare. And
Who?
I can assure you.
When was that a stereotype?
No, that is a stereotype. But
It is?
Yeah,
they're going to come up here and just sit on welfare and take all the jobs. Like the fucking.
But I can see them taking the jobs. I ain't never known about the welfare part, though. Because all the immigrants I ever know, they own in the corner store. The Chaldeans own the corner store. You got the Hispanics that's in construction. Mm-hmm. You got the Chinese obviously doing the nail salons, the Chinese restaurants.
It's a stereotype, but that is the reality of it. Usually they come over here and have, they do jobs, they work, but the stereotype is they're on welfare. They can use the government assistance. They can. That's
not true though.
They can go to the hospital.
Exactly, it's not true, but their status is being weaponized by the conservatives.
I mean, I understand like them taking the jobs. That's a problem.
They're not taking jobs we don't.
I mean, but hear me out though. Hear me out. Before let me finish. Like I understand, like they come over here, they get jobs, but let me rephrase it. They're not taking jobs. They taking the jobs that nobody wants. Right?
Exactly.
So like when I'm working construction, they doing drywall, they mudding, they doing floor tiles, roofing, tar and stuff. Like the stuff that we was doing back in the 1930s, whatever, that we ain't doing no more because we doing the more higher end stuff like plumbing, electrical, and mechanical stuff. The stuff that's unionized for the most part, and you can see the effects of that in Florida right now. You seen the videos, houses not being built anymore. They left out in the rain, getting soaked up. The wood getting exposed to the elements. Construction sites, shipping areas, farmers losing. It displays America at its finest, to be honest with you. But as far as black people, I'm just trying to understand where have we gone besides the violence. Where have we gone wrong? Where is the wealth gap currently? Because we got doctors, we got engineers, we got artists.
Okay, but you gotta realize those doctors and engineers are not in our communities. That's a problem with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going wrong. I am a example of that as well. Like we get up and we finally make some money. What we do? We move in with the white folks.
Okay.
I'm not living in Temple Hills. I'm living in Navy Yard.
I lived in a mixed community, but Virginia is just like that. Or Southeast Virginia is like that.
I don't know about that, man. Y'all still.
I made a conscious decision. I wanted my son to grow up around black people, but when I was looking for a house, I also was like, whatever my money allows, and we in a good neighborhood. But
Yeah.
I just happened, if that would have took me to the white neighborhood, I would have been in the white neighborhood too. But
I mean, but you got to think about it. The reason most of them people go to the white neighborhoods, though, it's not because of necessarily that black people are bad. It's just the stigma of
safety,
equity.
and equity too. Yeah,
Equity is like one of the most
like
everybody's driven by money now.
Yeah, but that's the
capitalist
thing.
Society. When you live in a black community, probably 8 times out of 10 that your house ain't gonna be worth nothing. That you probably gonna be living next to somebody that's Section 8 that ain't worth a crap. You probably gonna be next to the trap house or something like that.
Okay, then that's our problem. That is
our problem.
Reason
yeah.
right there.
But how do you weed that out? How do you weed that out? Because I'm kind of, to be honest with you, I'm kind of dealing with that now. But it's not just black people I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with white people that's doing drugs. And this is
white people do more drugs than anybody else. All right.
Huh?
So
yeah.
Like that's like it's ridiculous. I mean, much more illicit drug use in the white communities than in the black communities. But this is here and there. What I was saying is like we don't stay like those engineers and stuff are not living in black communities.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going back, to Shreveport, Louisiana, living in fucking Hollywood and shit and all that shit. Like, we don't stay in our own communities where we came from. We go to white communities and we enrich their communities, make their communities better. It's addition by subtraction for them. Hey, let's take one black person, subtract them from their population. Hey, he's good enough to live here. But the thing is, it's always a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a nurse. It's not. We can't keep our quality. And look at our schools, right? HBCUs used to be where the black cornucopia of the who's in academia. Now you got schools with multiple programs being unaccredited.
Yep.
Because our best and our brightest are not going there. They're going to the white schools. They're going to schools with more money.
Is that also a part of an internal thing though? Why don't they want to go to an HBCU?
Because it's looked down upon. I think in a lot of circles, and really, you can go to the white schools and get better education.
It's looked down upon to who?
Well, I guess it depends what school you go to. If you go to Howard, you don't get that. But let's say if you go like the Alabama A&M, they literally had. I read an article. They had a dozen programs become discredited.
Why did they become discredited? Did you say why?
Because numbers and people that were in there weren't making the grades. Like okay. we do have an issue. Like, also another thing is funding as well, right?
So they weren't making the grades because it was too challenging. I had to look at the article. To be honest with you, I got a little bit more questions on that.
This was years ago, but my thing is that there are a lot of black schools, and that's the thing. I think another problem is funding. We don't get as much money per student as the PWIs. So
that's agreed, yeah, because they got more white people going. I mean, it's more white people than minorities. That's the whole point of being a minority.
No, but that's the thing. You got HBCUs are bigger than some white schools, but white schools got bigger endowment.
But could you also say it like this? Like people are trying to expand their horizons. They don't want to just be around their kind the whole time.
I understand that, but the thing is, if it's at a detriment to your people, what worth is it? What good is it?
People don't. If they don't know it, just like people didn't know that not being in a healthy relationship will lead to terrible children. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what you don't know until it happens. So by us being split for so long, this is where we're at now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is we have to open our eyes and figure out, hey, why our community suffering? It's because a lot of times, again, like I said, we don't keep our best and our brightest.
Yeah.
So we need to somehow find a way to keep our best and our brightest within our communities to improve our community. Because guess what? All the smart black folks were going to HBCUs and shit, was places getting shot up? No. Where we, was a higher crime rate? No. There's more black families. There's a lot of people leaving school. So there's more black families. The families were stronger. We stayed within our communities. And
hold on, we add OJ in.
Oh shit.
Okay, we got OJ in. All right, there we go. All right, OJ, welcome to the show. So why y'all go ahead and talk. I'm gonna get the. Go ahead, Darnell. You good? I'm gonna get this thing reset up.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like we don't keep our best and our brightest in our community. For instance, what happened at Jackson State last season when you had Deion Sanders come there and literally get the top-ranked recruit in the nation to go to an HBCU. That was huge. That put more eyes and ears to Jackson State football.
Yeah.
Just Jackson State in general. Just the fact that, people are hearing about Jackson State. We like that. Like they're really like Grambling State used to put out more NFL players in the 70s and 80s than any other school.
Yeah.
Again, we're losing our talent. We're hemorrhaging our talent to these PWIs. Again, we're enriching their communities and we're worsening ours because our best and our brightest are not staying. Imagine if all the top recruits, let's say the top 50 recruits, then probably 38 of them will probably want to be black. Imagine they went to HBCUs, they went to Howard, they went to Hampton, they went to Savannah State, they went to Alabama and A&M, with the Grambling State, with the Southern, with the Langston, with the Lincoln. How much more people be watching people at HBCUs? HBCUs will be put on a proverbial map. Within the mainstream. And that's the thing. If you really want to make money, you got to take money from everybody, not just your own people.
Right.
White people take money from everybody, especially black people, because we are in a consumer mind state. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, particularly with the athletes, by having them go to our schools, put more eyes, puts more money into these programs, and then we can start using. If we use our money correctly, we can start building. But we're not doing that. We're not staying with our own communities. Again, like I said, I'm a prime example. I went to motherfucking Europe. I lived in Europe for 4 fucking years. I went to a continent full of white folks. So, again, our best and our brightest are not staying in our communities. We go, we leave, we live with white folks, and, we try to be, we're always talking about, it's like they're always trying to appease the white man almost.
Okay.
Every other group, you look at the Chinese, you look at the Jews, you look at everybody else that came here, they stick with their own people. And they invested in each other, and even though it sucked, it was shitty. Got fucking 15 people staying in one house, but making that investment, that initial investment, pays off. And we never were at that point. Well, we were at that point, but the thing is, again, like I said, we kept getting shit kicked out of us when we were trying to invest in our own, but people kept burning down. Now we're at the point where we can invest in our own, but we choose not to. We are choosing not to.
I wouldn't say they were not choosing not to. No, I want to cut you off. But who do you put the money into, right? As a black person, who if me as a black person, am I putting my money into black businesses by shopping with black? How do we build this construct? We understand what happened in the past, right? We understand that we don't have this huge community of black people. I mean, Atlanta is a big community of black people, and they have different networking groups. And if you do your research, there are black communities that strive to pour money into black excellence. But as the black people, us scattered out, where do you feel like our next step? Where do we go from today? After this podcast, our viewers like this podcast, where can they go? Say, hey, listen, I want to start putting into my people. I'm gonna go. Where do you feel?
Hey OJ, you breaking up a little bit. So we heard like almost every other word you were saying.
No way. Seriously?
I can
Yeah,
put it
seriously.
together what you were saying, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can kind of piece
Just
it
so you,
together.
just so you know.
But
You have a
again,
mic on?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
it sounds better now.
You probably got to
I think
adjust.
like I was saying earlier before you came on, it starts with us basically choosing us. You know, like we got to
Yeah.
go. Well, our best resources are ourselves. You know, our other black people around you. That's our best resource.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is for our viewers, for our singular black viewer, one person, were you telling a black man, a specific black man, where's he going from today? Where's he going? In your opinion?
Again, it's about choosing. Like, look, shopping black is one way to go. Like you have to know where your black retailers are. Like me, like all my underwear, with the exception of like maybe 5 pair, I had to get from emergency or from a black owned um, undergarment maker. You know, my beard oil is Scotch Porter, black owned and operated. You know,
This hat right here.
yeah, like Malik, I bought some shit from him, and we work with him.
Oh yeah, I bought a shirt and some
Yeah,
job
black
pants.
designer. So it's I'm saying like we have to make a conscious effort to choose us. Like for instance, there's a black telecommunications company called Figures Wireless.
I heard about it.
I heard about that.
I bought a phone from them. So I understand that like stuff like that, like automobiles, telecommunications, yeah, it's very hard because I mean we just didn't have the capital to build something like that ever.
Uh-huh.
You know. So I understand stuff like that. You can't work around it. You're gonna have to drive a fucking Honda. You know, drive
Right.
You know, like what black automobile maker is there? I don't think there's any. I haven't heard of one. You know,
There might be
there
one,
somebody
but once again,
making
it's
like
I remember a few years ago it was a person trying to start one, but that's why it's a black Instagram page. We buy black.
yeah, we bought black.
That's a very good Instagram page if you want to get to buying black stuff as far as like detergents, clothes, phones, shoes, all of that. And then also if you're looking for like black restaurants, Eat Okra. The app Eat Okra is pretty decent.
there's plenty of black owned restaurants here.
There's plenty of black
So
owned
me as a-
restaurants.
Plenty.
I mean, I get that as investing in black people, but I still don't sense the blackness of the community. It's because I just moved to a suburban neighborhood.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's
Now
what he
I've
was
seen
saying.
a
That's
couple
what Darnell
black
was
people.
saying earlier before you got
And
on. He
it's,
was
it's,
saying,
I know I heard a little bit before. Yeah, I heard. I was listening earlier before I jumped in.
okay.
But how do we? Because I understand the past. Well, I'm trying to move us to how can we go forward? What is the steps? Because we always looking forward. I think black people, we look, including myself, we look for someone to be the Martin Luther King, someone to be the person that walks us to the promised land, right? When honestly, it takes all of us to do it. It takes us as a unit say, hey, listen, we're going to move here in this neighborhood, and we're going to be in charge of the HOA, and this is Little Africa, right? This is where we're creating. We're going to make sure that it's black owned. We're going to like how can we? I mean, we've done it in the past. Though. We've done it throughout history. We've made towns and sections where it's black.
Yeah, they got burned down by angry white
Right.
people.
Yeah.
They got burned down.
Rosewood.
Yeah, I'm saying Greenwood, prime example.
Happened in Arkansas. It happened in North Carolina.
South Carolina,
Oklahoma.
LA.
I should have ever heard of it. Like, I would say our viewers look up the Red Massacre. We might talk about it in later podcasts, but it's literally just a a whole era of just like lynchings and killings of black people in their own black communities because black people were thriving.
Right.
And
We know the history. So like
yeah, we know
what you're
the
saying now.
we know the history, but once again, I'm trying to move towards how. What is that? What's it? What? You know? You said. You said. Yeah, we buy black to go retail, but how? But
Yeah.
what's the big? This not enough.
You already answered your own question within you answering within your question. So just how we came together here, where you said I want to do a YouTube, Darnell said I want to do a YouTube. I was like, okay, well, let's do a YouTube. I did all the groundwork, got y'all together,
Yeah.
got us all in one group chat, asked who else want to join. Mel, like, yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it, and we all did it. So all it takes is the know and the will to do it. So you saying it's 4 guys right here. All you gotta do is be honest with you. It's like planning a trip for black people. It's impossible, but you gonna try. So all you gotta do is find the willing people that's willing to do it. You gonna find at least like 4 people right here.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna start the community that way. You start with who you like-minded people. Not every black person thinks the same. You're not gonna get us all on the same. We're not a monolith. You're not gonna get us all to march. Martin Luther King could. People was looking at Martin. Some people was looking at Martin like this nigga gonna get us killed.
Right, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, we watched that Boondocks episode. Like, where was you at? I was getting my raincoat. What's wrong with you? What's biting you? A goddamn German Shepherd. Everybody's not thinking the same. We think a little bit different. You got to get some people that's somewhat like-minded, that's on the same path, that's willing to invest, and that's you got to treat it kind of like a business as well. Like,
but one of the
not
things
everybody gonna be on that same path.
One of the things I was thinking about was just like as far as like the football players going to play for HBCUs. I listened to the podcast like the Pivot and one of the other podcasts where they were talking to Deion Sanders about how do you get students to want to come to a school where it's like lesser, like they have the weight room, the equipment is older, and the program isn't as well known to get you to the next level. So as a kid, like 18-year-old coming out of high school, you got to make the decision: do I want to go be one of the people that put a light on the HBCUs and kind of diminish or slow down my progression to get to the NFL to where I'm making all this money? Or do I want to go to one of these schools where they're going to get me where I need to be so I can make it to the NFL, make a lot of money, and then I would hope put back into some of the other schools? But that's a hard decision to make for anybody, even me.
That's the thing. That's a fallacy, though. If you look at all the players, right? You look at starting 22, all of them going to be coming from way different schools. And a lot of them come from real tiny ass schools. So the whole thing of going to a school like that's not true. It's not true.
But you can't say that's not the mindset of them, though.
Yeah, I'm talking about the mindset. The idea
to get to the NFL. Look, you don't go to the NFL by going to practice. You go to the NFL by doing work outside of those working hours. Yeah. Those are motherfuckers that get to the NFL. Motherfuckers that just go to practice and go home and go study and fuck off.
But
they don't make it to the league.
But if it's 2 people, if it's 2 people, I choose the route that they have the same work ethic, and one of them goes to a school where they get more eyes on them. You get more of a chance to go to the NFL. But I'm not even just the.
No, it's not the 80s, man. You gotta realize.
I'm not even speaking about the statistics about it. Just the mindset, like just the thought of you have to make that decision. How did I don't like if we even just fuck the statistics about it. Just when you're thinking about it, choosing the path. What path do you choose, or how do you make that easier for somebody that's 18? Or that's a hard choice to make.
I mean, granted, like I was said earlier, like about the endowments within HBCUs versus PWIs. I understand that. Like you go to PWIs, you're gonna have bigger and better. I get that because there's a lot more people that go there and a lot more people that graduate from there actually put money back into the schools. That I understand. I'm not debating that, hey, these schools are better quality, just by looking at them. You can see that. I get that. But my thing is, again, we keep going to the better. All right, that school's better, so I'm just going to go. I'm going to Alabama. I'm going to go to Clemson. I'm going to USC. You know, like I get that, but the thing is, it takes us at some point being like, you know what, it gotta stop somewhere. And it stops with me. I'm gonna go.
I mean, Dion did it though.
Go
Dion
home.
took a massive pay cut to go to that school, and nobody. I mean, I didn't see any other big. I mean, he even got hate from one of the coaches. I mean, he lost. You know, who ain't swag? If I ain't swag, like he got hate from because they saw the spotlight was on Dion, and
That's just hate.
it's just hate. Yo, crab in the bucket mentality. But Dion took a massive pay cut. And he put so much money into their school, and I feel like as a black community, I didn't see anybody, none of the millionaires, none of the athletes. And I understand that everybody has their own life, but no one doubled down. No one said, "Hey, listen, Dion, we need you to stay because you're doing something amazing." So when Dion said, "Hey, I gotta take care of myself. I gotta take care of my family because no one else is looking out for me. No one else is taking on the suffering that I did." Once again, bringing on the number one recruit to Jackson State, man. I mean, I'm not sure. I watched almost, I follow Deion Sanders, but I'm looking at the progress of him building up his facilities, him limping around the bleachers. I mean, you PWI versus Mississippi State. Well, I'm sorry, Jackson State. Night and day. And once again, you tell an 18-year-old, was Mel alluded to, you tell an 18-year-old to make a decision. His parents, his single mom. Let's just be honest. His single mom is probably saying, "Hey, listen, we want you to, like, of course, baby, you go whatever school you want to." And he's 18, 19 years old. That's a huge decision. To be the pillar? Come on, man.
That's the thing, though. That starts with the parents. I'm saying that starts with the parents. The parents got like, "Hey, look, you know."
This goes back to the mindset of things where I was saying we understand that Black people, as over the years, have went through communities failing because of outside interference, and now we're at this point where we're all kind of scattered apart. We see where we want to go, and we all having kids right now, right? Majority of us on this panel has kids. So it's just up to us to teach our kids, like, hey, this is where we need to go. So we saying that we want to have a Black community that's thriving, successful, respectable, has character, ethics, that's, top tier. It's up to you to steal that in your kids in the next generation. That's part of it. Like, we can start now, like you said, by going to communities with majority Black people in it, or starting a community with Black people in it. And then from there, like, okay, I use myself as an example because I did put that in the caption. Like, we all come from different walks of life. Me personally, like, have a little personal moment. I had both parents in my life. My dad is a pivotal pillar to where I'm at now. He homeowner, military, work 9 to 5, entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of those is stuff that I live to be. So by seeing that example, I became what I am today, and on the future to be better than what he is. You strive to be better. So I do live in a community, like I said, it's a mixed community. Probably like 6 or 8 Black families on my block, but still a lot more white people, and one Section 8 house. But I'm not even gonna get into that motherfucker. But yeah, it starts with us. So we see the writing on the wall, and all we have to do is read it, write the additional context, and carry on smartly from there. And like I said, it's just a matter of teaching your kids, like, hey, this is what I did. You don't have to do what I did, but this will work.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Like, at some point, we gotta choose us, man. Like, I see what Melvin and OJ are saying. I get it. I understand. However, at some point, we have to make a conscious decision to choose us. Somebody got to take that pay cut. Somebody's gonna have to, like, all right, I'm gonna fight the book.
We looking for Moses. We're looking for Martin Luther King. You say somebody, right?
No, I'm not.
And like I said, no. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If it's not for y'all, the men that I know, it's real tough for me to take a bullet for a bunch of people who I feel like who wouldn't appreciate, my sacrifice.
I'll be honest, right? I ain't doing.
Here's the thing, though. If
Yeah,
we
that's
always
what
have that
I'm
mentality,
saying.
we're not going to get anywhere, OJ.
Yeah, we all on the
see, I
same
got 3
page.
kids.
No,
and
I'm not.
I'll
No,
be-
it's
It's hard for me to take a bullet for somebody that I feel like ain't gonna take care of my kids if I'm going.
Bro, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds so good, but like I said, I will take a sacrifice if I knew that one of y'all, because I'm close to y'all, like I would take a sacrifice and say, hey, listen, I will give up what.
So
whatever.
you mean to tell me that?
Let me finish. But you're telling an 18-year-old, because we're talking about sports right now. We're not talking about the other. We're not talking about entertainers. We're not talking about.
No, I mean, it's
But
all
you're
the same thing.
They're all the
I'm
same
not.
thing, but
I just use sports because that's what we all know. We all.
I mean,
like,
Tyler Perry.
He just bought BET. He just bought BET.
Just bought BET. No one first
And
off,
VH1.
and VH1. Who's the last? When the last time you watched BET Awards?
Never.
I mean, it's just random fact. It's been a long time because it's not feeling black to me.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't had cable for a long ass time either. So,
You need cable, but
I barely watch sports.
bro, I ain't watched. Bro, look, I ain't had cable, bro. It's been.
I got you. So I mean, besides,
I'm about to get that YouTube football though. They got the Sunday ticket.
Just black entertainment. Black. I mean, we are entertainment. We are sports.
Yeah, we are the entertainment industry.
Yeah, we are entertainment. I mean, we are music. I mean, you look at top songs. Not this year for some reason, but yeah, I think it's a shift.
But who owns our music though?
Yeah,
That's
it's a shift
problem.
in power right now.
It's a shift in power.
You got Afro beats. That's on the rise. Hispanic music been going crazy.
No big artists came out recently.
Yeah, already.
You gotta look at the to be like female artists are kind of like taking over right now.
See,
They got the same men artists.
They're not taking over in numbers. They're taking over in
quantity. They are taking not
yeah,
quality and quantity.
They're being more publicized, right? Because I'm not gonna say there aren't any
Sex
good
sales, man.
I don't know. They're just shit male rappers and they're shit female. I mean, at this
Sex
point,
sales. All the men having scandals.
Equaling out now.
Yeah, it's just
nobody wants to get not canceled, but nobody wants to go to jail. You see this week. You saw this week, YK Osiris and Suki Hana.
Weirdo. I mean, that was some weird.
That was dumb. But she's feeding into it. Come on now. Let's call a spade a spade.
I'm gonna speak on this. I'm gonna stand on this. He 100% was wrong. I'm gonna let that. He should have.
I don't know who the fuck y'all talking about.
Unconsensual.
You want to show the video? You want to show you the video?
Yeah, please. I'm an old man now, so.
Nah, that shit weird. I know who they are just because they be on Instagram, but
yeah, it was weird. Why would he do that?
And everybody that was over there, like,
she also over sexualizes herself. And I'm not doing that whole like, oh, it's her fault. It's just like, I mean,
she called spade a spade, man.
She over sexualizes.
I'm trying to say he felt so comfortable doing that,
Bruh.
because of the way she is. And it doesn't, once again, it never gives any man the right to touch a woman unconsensually.
All right, here we go.
You need to play it?
Yeah, I'm about to play it. Just look at another thing. Look at funny Marco face.
Look at Duval face.
In a shocking incident at the Crew League event, singer YK Osiris is accused of sexual assault after forcefully kissing Suki Hana without her consent. Please subscribe. The uncomfortable encounter unfolded as Osiris approached her from behind, touching her shoulders and attempting to kiss her multiple times. Suki Hana expressed her distress on social media.
Oh my God.
Who the fuck is
It's a short. Why would you?
I can't tell you who she is. I think she's seen that Pussy Pink.
She that you remember that? Remember we showed you that video. What's his name? A dude from Memphis. NLE Chopper. He's walking two chicks by their hair.
Yeah.
He was one of them.
She was one of them.
Yeah, her and Sexy Red, the booty hole brown girl.
Booty hole, bro. Man, look, bro. I heard that stupid ass song. Pussy pink.
And the girls in the club, they play that shit in the club. The girls be singing all the words.
This shit is so
Bruh.
fucking.
Yo,
It's not even a
something.
bar.
You know they got
Man.
something. They got something in the water. It's the Pharrell festival
festival,
down here.
Virginia Beach, right?
I was walking to go see Lil Wayne. We was watching Summer Walker at first, right? I was like, dang, all right, let's go see Lil Wayne real quick. On our way there, and someone, all right, I got somebody's coming out to perform for y'all. My wife and I, we turned around, and so I heard that beat drop. I'm like, oh, nah, we good. We good. Let's go see Wayne. My pussy pink, booty hole brown. I'm like, oh. I feel like that's
that song,
SpongeBob.
though, bro. I'm with this song. I love hearing that song when I'm out.
That shit is.
I love hearing that song when I'm out.
Well, you scoping for who's singing the loudest?
Nah,
They
I'll be
never
watching you. It'll be the whole club. They all be singing that shit no matter where I'm at. They all be singing.
Okay, here we go.
Mhm.
Here we go. All right. I'm about to try it again. Here you go, man.
Back to A. We'll
He's
get back
short,
to A1,
man.
but this is YK Osiris at a basketball
You don't
game
need the
recently.
sound.
I mean, that's quite disgusting.
Where Darnell
And you
go?
can
I'm
tell
trying to show
she's
Darnell about that video. He
uncomfortable.
disappeared.
And I don't care what y'all say. I don't care if she's
God
eating
dang,
these
Darnell.
asses. Don't touch her without consent. Which brings me to DJ A1. I'm
He
assuming
disappeared at the
it's
right
the way
time.
again that Sukiana presents herself.
There you
where
go.
Men,
Hey, look,
I
he goes
guess,
there right here.
wrongfully feel comfortable enough to come at her sideways,
Don't mind what he talking
kissing
about. Just-
her without
just go through the
consent,
short.
and talking to her crazy
You're
during
talking
this
too much for a
podcast.
short.
Make that piece of shit. I know it, dude.
These shorts are getting
We'll
longer,
get
though,
back-
I ain't gonna lie.
In a shocking incident,
We'll get back to A1, but this is YK
People start
Osiris
putting
at
more
a
shorts out now
basketball
that
game recently.
YouTube changed their guidelines. Here you go right here.
I mean, that's quite disgusting.
You know, he
And you
walked
can
up
tell
behind
she's
her, gave her a little
uncomfortable.
massage. You know
And
what
I
I
don't
mean?
care what y'all say. I don't care if she's
Grabbed her
eating
by the
these
throat.
asses. Don't touch her without consent. Which brings me
Tried to
to
kiss her.
DJ A1.
Pulled
I'm
away.
assuming
He laughed a little bit, gave her another shoulder massage, and tried it again. Then he walked away laughing.
It's weird, man. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure. I just okay. What's it? Okay, Y Cyrus or whatever. Osiris.
Outside Y2K,
Just-
whatever.
That shit was crazy.
This is it's weird, man. It's weird.
Nah,
All
that
right,
shit
back
be-
on top. We got drifted off. We drifted off a little bit. So, looking at the article again, we spoke on the wealth portion of it. You know, we saying we gotta pass it down to our kids. We gotta, you know, we don't find the like-minded. We gotta find like-minded people. You're not gonna find that amongst every black person. You gotta weed them out. You gotta weed them out. You know, there's people that just stay on the government titty. That's all I like to say.
I have a question.
What's up?
Are you supposed to outcast or like?
Yes.
All right, you're supposed to outcast other people?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Cut it back.
Wow.
That's what every other culture does. Black people are the only ones that don't do that.
I mean,
We like to expose people. I don't even want to expose nobody. I just won't fuck with them.
Yeah, just move on, man. Fuck it.
I mean, it's if you got a group of people,
Yeah.
somebody do something that's outside of regulations, you
Mhm.
oust them. Go somewhere else. Go do your thing. Like we
Yeah,
don't do
ostracize
that
them,
over
man.
here.
Fuck it. Yeah,
You
I'm saying like,
ostracize them.
No. What I mean is, are you choosing a black person over a white person?
No, I'm choosing somebody off a character, but I would prefer a black person if that's what you mean. But I'm not discriminating.
I'll
in
say
that-
because
in that
if we
sense.
were just choosing black people, then we wouldn't be ostracizing anybody.
Yeah,
That'd be
Okay.
an issue.
Make
Like,
sure once again.
because that's I mean, to be honest, that's just bad. That's bad business.
Yeah, I agree. I want our viewers to
Yeah,
know
you
that.
gotta be able to trade and network with people to bring back to yours. That's kind of like how the immigrants work, where they come over here, they work for a little bit, they send the money back home. They still supporting their own, but they're using a lot of America's resources.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like where we fail. We still using America's resources, but we're not bringing it back to our resources, as Darnell was saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We keep
And
exporting.
like just like how we was in the Navy, you know, I know I bring it up a lot, but we all joined the Navy. We weren't bringing the resources back to our families.
Sure, who was?
Your ass was in the strip club.
How
dare you? How dare you?
From being until
Talking
now,
about you bringing back the resources. I'm snitching. Now I'm exposing. This is
Oh,
going with
in the Navy,
podcast.
y'all did 8 years. I only did 4.
Y'all
You
know
did
I
what?
hate you.
Y'all did 8 years. I only did 4.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
like, I
I
was
did
young,
7.
so
Yeah,
I didn't
did
have no
7.
money in the Navy.
I did 9.
Eight and a
I,
half.
you know,
I
didn't
I
have
had to
no money,
redeem
so I didn't have
myself,
nothing to
man.
bring
I only
back.
did 9 to
I
redeem
started
myself.
saving. I started saving money the last year and a half before I got out. I ain't gonna lie.
Mhm.
I came back, bought a car, crashed it in 16 days, and was broke again. I was broke again. So
Yeah,
I
I did not know
See
about
that?
this.
Hey, guess what?
Everybody-
Another example of
Yeah.
a nigga moment.
oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
nigga
saying?
moment for sure. I got DUI.
Bro.
16 days
Bro.
out. 16 days back.
Bro.
Halloween night, 2014.
That's the thing. That's the type of shit we can't do. We can't save money to buy something that depreciates.
Yeah.
So we gotta invest that.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That was the dumbest
Everybody
decision
around
I
Mel
made.
was like, one of us, one of us, one of us.
Like,
Grab him by the shirt, start pulling it down. Like,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, nigga.
Yes.
Yeah, get on the metro, nigga.
Yep.
You get on the
Military
metro.
I had
don't
2
mean
cars. I had 2
Yeah,
cars. I
catch
ain't
the
selling
bus
my
with
first car.
us.
I had another car. I was back driving when I got out of jail.
Oh man,
Nah, but
that's
Man,
insane.
yeah, that was dumb. But that's even when I was buying my house, going through the process of buying my house. My cousin, I'm 8 months older than him. He bought a house a few months before me. So me and him, I talked to him more than I talked to anybody else. I ain't really know who else to go to know about this process. Stuff like that. I saw my dad buy his house. He was 30 when he bought his first house, and I seen him go through the process, but I ain't really feel comfortable asking him for guidance or what should I be doing, what should I be looking at. So that's
Why
stuff
not?
that, like some of the stuff I learned when I was out of the Navy and y'all was still in, I would tell y'all like, hey, do this, do that, this, make sure y'all getting y'all stuff in so that when you get out, you can your disability or all of that stuff is kind of in place so that.
Mm-hmm. Could that be another issue with the Black community as far as sharing knowledge and they're willing to ask the elders? Because like I can attest to what Mel's saying, because like I said, my dad was a huge role model, but even when I was in the Navy, it's stuff that I just wouldn't ask him, even though he had the experience. But I wanted to experience for myself.
I was scared to really talk to my dad till I was 26 because he used to whoop me when I was younger, and I was still like, hell no, I ain't about to tell a nigga about this shit because he might pop off on my ass. So,
Motherfucker traumatized.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
PTSD. Talking to his dad.
but I was in trouble though. I was getting in trouble, but I was still scared of like coming to him with some type of failure or asking questions until I was 26, and I was just like, what the fuck am I still scared of, bro? Like, I'm a grown ass man.
What you gonna do? Ground me?
I felt that way with Cam. So before I bought my house in San Diego, I was like, y'all want to buy a house? Cam bought a fucking house. I didn't even know.
yeah, nobody knew.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, how'd you
Bro,
buy this?
I just move low key like that. That man, it's not. I'm not willing to share the knowledge. I just move low key. Like
What's
nobody
the-
knew I was married. Nobody knew I was having a kid. Nobody knew I bought a house.
I
Nobody
knew
knew I
you was
started a
married.
bit. Like I just move low key until
I
they
knew
find
you
it
bought a
out
house.
and
you
then I
was-
reveal.
I knew you was. You ain't had to tell me you was married. I knew that.
I knew
How
you
you know I
bought a
was
house.
married? How'd you know? How'd you know I was married? This nigga spying on me or something? What's, you got
Nah,
an
I
air
mean,
tag?
if we air each other out, I mean, that's the best you was gonna get. I knew that. I'm like, shit, clink, 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 clink. I knew you won't let that go. I'm like, yeah, that's a wrap. But the house part really the house part told me up because I was happy for this. I want to celebrate this, but at the same time, I'm like, dang, you withholding information. How you get a house? So the
VA
very
loan?
he
Just
said,
like
what?
everybody else. I found me a realtor.
But I didn't know that process. So I'm telling you what I did. The very second I got a house, you met Ryan. Ryan got a house. Ryan got a house. My boy Derek McCullum, he bought a house. Like everybody who I knew who could get a house, I'm like, hey, yo, get a house,
bro. And that's what I was on too.
I mean,
yeah. You ain't got a house.
it's more to it though. Being you could tell them just to get a house, but did you tell them like, hey, look, like
The
if you
process.
get a house, you're gonna be responsible for the taxes. You're gonna be responsible for your electric bill, water bill, all of that extra stuff. Like you got to get home insurance. It's not renter insurance anymore.
It was
Closing costs, all it. Like did you break that down to them before you told them to go buy a house?
I broke it down on how to get a house, and I left the door open. Like, hey, listen, ask me any questions, and I also reached out.
Okay.
So it's just, of course, as a grown man, like, oh, you have some type of pride and ego. You don't want somebody to walk you through the whole process, and then you feel like, oh, you owe them something. I understand that feeling, but at the same time, I'm happy to like, hey, man, thanks for putting me on. Even if I say thank you every time I see you, oh, thank you, bro. I want you to know I appreciate this opportunity, and I think just people in general, but I see it more in Black people. We have a lot of ego and we have a lot of pride, so we're willing to fail quietly versus succeed with some help out loud. Somebody clip that. Come on now.
You don't want clipping?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm at this point, like I don't mind. I'll ask for help. I'll give out help. I don't even like. I do my own research. I'm trying to figure everything out because I mean it's all out there. Everything is out there, bro. I be on TikTok looking up everything, bro. Like how do I? I looked up the other day how to feed the thing in my weed eater, bro. Like on TikTok.
You didn't know how to do that?
Yeah.
It was a new one, bro. It's not the one that I had growing up, bro. It was a different one.
That's what I'm saying. Different lifestyles, man. Bro, I'm telling you, like I was building fences, I was doing plumbing, I was doing drywall, I was cutting the grass, all of that growing up.
Both parents,
86.
you're one of the fortunate ones who had both. And I feel like the men and women with both parents, y'all should be the pillars. Y'all should be and honestly, you understand what it looks like. I didn't.
I do. But I'm an asshole.
I didn't see.
I don't take people in short doses, and they gonna take me in short doses.
I didn't have both parents. I had my dad, and then my stepmom. They broke up and got back together and did all of that. And then eventually it was just my dad. But my dad was always in the streets the whole time. Yeah. So that's what I see.
That's a different thing. Yeah, being in.
Oh, can I tell you, I got my Tinder fucking reinstated.
Yeah, yeah. Don't put your Instagram on there.
Yeah, man. I'm like,
he up here trying to promote his fans only.
Man, I'm like, man, what the fuck? All right, bro, that was so crazy. Like, just because of a fucking social media handle, like,
it was a crazy shift.
You thought somebody reported your ass?
Yeah, I thought like somebody reported me for like some sexual abuse. I'm like, I know I ain't talking to these women crazy now.
Yeah, he
talking
to the big girls like, hey, I can feed you a sandwich from the back.
You gonna reach a little? You reaching over?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Look at that muscle dribble.
Yeah, man. I really think. I mean, what I'm taking from this is going forward. Because, like I said, I'm all about forward progression. I understand the past. Forward progression is taking some time to look at Black businesses and going out of my way to shop Black, to buy Black products. Even if you go to Walmart, buy a Black product from Walmart. I mean, you're giving money to Walmart, but you find that product. So just the best way possible to buy Black, and to try to rotate.
Hold on, AJ. Hey, Darnell, mute up.
What?
Mute your mic. Go ahead, OJ.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's not enough. I think each one of us, we take some time out in our day, in our week, to just look over our life and see what are we willing to sacrifice for the greater good of our community. And it's not just with each other, and it might be with each other. I think we should start with each other. Like if you got something that you got going on, I mean, I should repost it, right? I should, I mean,
Cam, I listen to your music all the time, and I repost stuff that you had. So
Mhm.
it's like I definitely feel like I support my friends, and they are black. So I support all my friends. I mean, black or white. I mean, no matter what they are. But I support my friends, and outside of that, is to actually, like I said, taking time to say, okay, how am I helping out the black community? I think it's something we should do separately to help us continue to move on through, to actually make this mean something, but not just talk about it. Because black people love to talk about something and not do it.
It's like to give up. People not consistent, and it takes consistency. It also takes doing some research and homework in order to know what you're doing. And shit, sometimes you're gonna fail, but it is what it is. Just keep going. Like consistency is just that's how most people make it work.
Yeah, man, you gotta show up. You know, you gotta show up.
And that's what the women like. They love a consistent man. Y'all got to be consistent.
Nah, bro, it's
We listen.
that's a line. That's a thin
please.
line.
I'll open that one up. I mean, we look. The topic is the state of Black America. The box of women. I'm pressing it down right now.
I'm about to say, bro, y'all are one sentence from this being a fucking dating shit.
No, we ain't doing that. Pandora's box staying closed, buddy. I was just making a little joke. That's
Let's
all.
open it in some later episodes because that one is I need some.
Yeah, bro, that's that room's crowded, bro.
Yeah, they sweating in there. Smell like Badussi in there. Sweating. It's like the diesel running. Everybody.
You don't know about their life, man. You was in and out of their room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't stand in there when that thing was running. Fuck that. But yeah, all right. So Darnell, was there in another topic you want to review before we sign off?
I didn't know we were done. Shit.
I mean, we had an hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah, we are an hour in, man. It's been
I've been hungry the whole time.
Yeah. I'm looking at my food right here.
Listen, all the viewers, my bad for the tardiness and also not being in the first episode. I'm trying to be more consistent with my brothers. To have interesting topics. Thank you for everybody for viewing. And what you
how
got?
many people are viewing?
Who's the closer? Can you close?
Yeah. I mean, it don't matter who closed. Be honest.
Complete game cam over here, man.
Yeah, we ain't got no only viewer on there. Only viewer. Don't worry about that. That's fine.
Everybody who's watching it, who's gonna watch this, the pillar of this group right now is Cam. He's put in so much work. Round of applause for my boy Cam. Round of applause for my boy.
I ain't got no audio buttons
Let's
yet.
give my boy his
I ain't got no
Good
sound
for
bites
you.
yet, man. Let me get the sound bites before we do the round of
I'll be,
applause.
And OJ
I've been
bringing
thinking
up
about
the
should I
rear.
do sound bites? Should I do sound bites? Like shut your bitch ass up. Sound bite. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Nope.
Your soundboard.
Yeah.
You got one time to get me. I'm flying out.
Man, look, I got my little stream deck right here, you know what I mean? So I can put anything on
You
there.
got it on deck. It's ready.
Yeah. I'm set up. I'm ready to go. But yeah, that's it for today. This we got deep with the state of Black America. We understand the wealth gap. We understand where we go from here. It's all in your kids, it's all in your family. Start building your communities. Get together with like-minded people and start building a community. We appreciate y'all for getting deep with us and enjoying the conversation. If you're going to come back and rewatch this, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. We'll respond to it accordingly. Thank y'all. We signing off. Shout out Mel. Shout out OJ. Shout out Darnell. And once again, I'm your host, Cam, and it's the Iggy's Deep Podcast. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.